Welcome to today's video. Today's video we're going to talk about adding an Android device to our home lab for our hacking purposes, for our education and our practice at home. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to select the group. You know, in my previous videos I showed you how to create the group. I select the group, highlight it, because if I create new, I want it to go into this specific group. So because it's highlighted and I can go to new, it will now create the new machine I'm building in my VM into the group. So I'm going to call this Android 2. I'm going to select the file location where I want to store my VM. Now you guys know from my previous videos I store my VMs in a different location, vmhomelab.com. I am going to select try other. I'm going to select a year other unknown device. I'm going to leave it on this. I'm not going to attach the ISO, because once you attach the ISO, because Android is based on Linux, VMware is going to change your type here to Ubuntu, and we don't want this. We want to leave it on other and unknown. So we're going to click next. We're going to give our machine, you can give it 2 gig, 2048. Give it at least 2 CPUs if you have enough CPU, because the more CPUs you have, the more smoother it's going to run. Click next. We're going to give it at least 25 gig. You can get away with 16 gig if you have 16, if you can't go 25, but 25 is going to make it better performance for this VM, for the Android. Click next. Click finish. Now we have our base. We're going to go settings. We're going to go to display. I've got a nice big graphics card, so I like to give my VM the maximum video memory I can give of 128 meg. So I'm going to push it to 128 meg. You can see general, we still on other and unknown. Click OK. Now once I hit start, it will launch the Android VirtualBox. Now it's going to pop up a box for us to attach our ISO. Now I've got my ISOs downloaded, so I'm going to go to other. I'm going to go Android. This is the Android I have. Click open, and I'm going to mount and retry. So the machine is going to restart. It's now going to boot into the ISO. I'm going to select the option advanced option. Scroll down to auto install to specific hard drive. It's going to be a very quick installation. I'm going to select yes, auto installation. And let this run. And job done. So now I can say run Android. Click OK. It's going to reboot, but it's going to reboot into devices once again, because I forgot to take that off, unforce unmount. Always do that, guys. Before you reboot your VM, dismount the ISO, otherwise sometimes it boots straight back into the ISO. This is not what we want. So this is going to take a minute or total to load to get us back into our Android. So once Android load, you can see you have your first splash page. We're going to just leave it in a default language. Hit start. I'm not going to join a network yet, because I don't want my Google account to pop up and ask me to sign in as yet. So I'm just going to click continue without it. So I'm just going to set it up as very basic. I'm going to leave the date and time as it is. Next to that, I'm going to unselect all these things that like to know everything about me. And I'm going to accept the agreement. I'm not going to set up a PIN or pattern or password right now. I'm going to say not now. And I'm going to say skip anyway. And it's getting ready fast to load. It's going to ask us what do we want to control our home page, our splash page for when we're logging in. So I'm going to select a quick setup. I'm just going to say always. So I'm just going to use it for my lab to hack. I'm going to put some malware on here, rats on here, and try and remote control my VM in my lab as well for my Android from one of my attacking machines. You can practice some phishing emails and how to attach a link and so on. You can, if you have extra Gmail accounts, you can attach it to this and sign in using your details. You can use this as a normal Android just to work from every day. So once I set it up, the machine is sort of ready to go, and I'm going to add something else at the end of this video for you to watch. But it's very easy to navigate this Android. You use your mouse, go to the bottom here, the pink, click on your mouse button and drag, well, not too long at the mouse button, and just drag it up. It's a nice smooth movement, and then you can get into all your apps that you set up. Once you set it up, you can come and reboot the machine and then join your Wi-Fi as well. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reboot my machine. Oops, I always struggle with my Control-Alt keys to set me free. I'm free. I'm going to power it down. See, the menu comes up on this side. I'm going to say restart. Oops, I need to click inside the VM and not outside the VM. Oh, don't you just love Android? There's the mouse. And then restart. And there you have it. It's very easy to set up an Android on your home network for your lab. Just at the end, I want to leave this up on the screen because sometimes if you select in your base image the wrong way and it selects Ubuntu as your base operating system or your base configuration for your VM, or if something goes wrong and you reboot the VM just after you install the Android, and you don't see the Android icon or logo splash page appear, and you just go to a screen which say console, the first thing you have to need to do is you need to go and change the boot on your VM for that. So to do that is very easy. So you reboot your machine, get to the grub first page, your boot selection menu where you see your Android and all the debug and all those ones. Select the top line of your Android by hitting the E button for edit. Go into the kernel that's there, and we're going to change the quiet, and we're going to change it to no mode set X-Force Vesa. And this is the steps. I'm going to leave it on the screens. You can follow this. I expect that you're already at the level where you understand that Android is based on Linux and Unix, so it makes use of Linux type of commands. So you should be familiar on how to use these things to change a grub. Especially if you go to cybersecurity, guys, you need to get familiar with open source stuff, not just Microsoft. Even play around on Mac. Mac is Unix based, so get familiarized on these type of things, of the different type of command structures you need to use. But if you have any questions, please leave it below this video. I will get back to you, and I can repost it as well in the comments below this video. I'll put the same steps in so it will help you. If you really get stuck and you want me to make a video on how to change it, let me know and I can do that for you as well. Right, see you in our next video.